I turned this Harry Potter closet of a bedroom into a world-class YouTube studio. Last person to keep their hand on this table gets to kiss me on the lips.
What the hell?
Am I doing this YouTube thing right yet?
Is it wrong of me to miss you still? Wrong of me to need...
What's going on, folks? My name is Rupin, and welcome to my bedroom. I know, it's very personal and intimate, and it smells kind of weird, and you want to leave as fast as you can. Jeez, you guys sound like my ex already. But it's also a YouTube studio now, okay? I thought it'd be fun to break down how I turned my bedroom, which is also already my office, into this somewhat decent looking YouTube studio, if I do say so myself. So let's break down what the room looked like originally. I got a bed and I got a desk. And that's about it. Outside, I do also have kind of like a living area going on, which I do use for my podcast, but it's a lot harder to control the noise out there from upstairs, and it's really hard to get any depth in that shot. If you look at the shots from the podcast, our backgrounds are not very exciting. Although this room is much tighter, I've always had this blue Just Rain accent wall behind me, which I've always thought is the most interesting wall. Man, I sounded like Trump there. We have the most interesting walls. They're the biggest. The bluest. And the backdrop of what is already my office space looks a lot more professional than a couch. Now let me turn the camera around and show you what a mess I've made. After taking out my chair and my bedside table, I start by bringing in my tripod. And just leaving the 3 legs of the tripod on the ground made the shot too tight. And if I changed the lens to a wider lens, it left a lot of dead space in the frame. So I decided to stay on my 35mm and put 2 legs on the bed with 1 hanging off. I showed this video to my mom, and her main concern was don't show your kambal or your chadar. Like, tenu sharam nahi aandi? And I'm like, Mom, you bought these for me. Sabotage. I'm recording my audio on a wireless Sennheiser mic, which plugs into this Focusrite, which goes directly into my laptop, and I'm editing the audio on Logic Pro. You can probably run this audio straight into your editing software, but I like the Pro tools that Logic offers for mixing the audio. Next, I move my C-stand in, and I mount my Amran 300C on top with an Aperture Light Dome 2. It's just disgusting. Don't look at it for too long, would you? This is a pretty light setup as far as YouTube studios go, and I know I'm using all the things that I have at home because of the nature of my work, but I realize that's kind of cheating because not everyone just has this stuff at home. If you were to buy all this stuff, it would cost you this much money. Let's see how close I can get to the exact same frame using a fraction of the cost, using much more affordable equipment, and I know just the man for the job. Papa?
Yeah?
मेरी वीडियो में हेल्प कर लोगे?
What video?
YouTube video.
Sure, give it a minute.
Okay, चलो आ जाइए. आपने करना क्या है? This is my shot for YouTube. You basically have to recreate the same shot using all of your equipment.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so here's some background. Last video talked about what inspired me to create YouTube content, and I left out a huge detail. Turns out my dad is more certified than me. He's been making content on YouTube for the last 2 years, and it's really started to pick up recently, which has led him to start his own little collection of film equipment. As the younger, more tech-savvy gentleman out of the two of us, he's usually asking me to help with his setup, but credit where credit's due. He learned most of what he knows about making videos through YouTube and self-teaching. So let's turn the tables on him and make him do manual labor. Set up the studio for a small budget. So I'm looking through that camera over there, and I'm looking at the rest of the setup. First of all, it's a lot lighter than everything that I had in here, and it's a lot easier to move things around. If we didn't like something about the shot, it'd be really easy to move this light or move this camera angle and make it something different. Key differences, I would say, obviously the light is not as strong. Is this at full power?
Yes.
Another downside of having a light that isn't as bright and isn't as soft is that you're getting like harsher shadows on the wall here, and it's not illuminating as much as the wall. So you could have some noise issues when you're going into your editing software, but for the most part, this is about 75% of what I had set up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You can have a second ring light here.
Yeah,
On
you
this
could
side.
you could bump up the lighting to change the look for sure.
And I can turn that also on.
Yeah, if you want, yeah. This is good, but it's not the look, right? Because I want the directional lighting from one side and the rim light on the other side.
Okay.
Papa, why don't you break down the price of all this stuff?
All right, starting from my Super Pro camera.
Yeah, your Super Pro camera, yeah.
That is iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Pro Max, yeah. So it's the bigger
3
sensor.
lenses inside.
Yeah.
The tripod here is, all prices are Canadian. The tripod here is about $50. The ring light is $40.
Okay.
The ring light needs 5-volt supply, so that's why I'm using a power bank over there. The other light here is a newer light. This is $30, 30 Canadian dollars. I got it on sale.
Okay.
It is chargeable. And the other big budget thing here is the microphone that I'm using here.
So aside from your phone, is this probably the most expensive piece of equipment here?
I think so, yeah. But this one is about 145 Canadian dollars.
DJI makes something like this, Rode makes something like this, Hollyland makes something like this. Did you compare the price of this to the rest of those companies?
1/3 of that.
1/3 of the price. And you say it's good.
Yeah, I don't want to spend $400 or more than that on a clip microphone, especially when I'm using only one of them.
Right. It might be interesting in the future to do a review of these newer products because this is the company that's been coming up a lot recently. And my dad has bought some of the products, but I would not go out and buy this. I would buy something from DJI or Rode or Hollyland because I trust their brand names. But if they're making good products like you're saying for a fraction of the cost, it may be worth looking into. Also, the reason I have this pro level equipment is because I use it for work. I'm getting paid to use these things. At the end of the day, yeah, you might be getting paid from YouTube in the future, but you probably want to have something that's a lower level of entry to get started. And then if it does pop off, then you can start reinvesting into your business. I don't know what the total cost of my equipment is. I'm gonna have it posted up right over here. But just comparing the tripod alone, your tripod you said was $50?
Yes.
Mine was...
It's 75 inches.
Comparing inches now. Mine was $500. So that's just one thing. That's 10x the price on just one of the pieces of equipment that's being used here. But yeah, I hope you were able to see how you can do a similar setup at home using things that are much more affordable than what I have. This helps you get started with your stuff as well.
I would say less than $200.
Altogether, less than 200. And that's Canadian, folks. And with the way Canadian dollar is going, that's $5 USD, so.
5.
I knew he'd like that one.
No.
No? Okay, thank you. You do your outro better than I do, so why don't you go ahead? Outro karna.
Thanks for watching. I hope you like this video. I hope you like our bloopers. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel before you leave.
And don't forget to subscribe to his channel before you leave.
We love you guys. See you soon. Bye now.
Okay, Shah Rukh Khan.
Would it kill you just to say you were wrong? Would it kill you just to hear I was right?